Hello everyone!
Hello.
Today we are painting a box, I see.
Yes.
But we are not just doing this for the sake of painting a box, we are actually doing something with the box. So what's the plan?
Well, the plan is that I'm basically just putting a layer of acrylic paint on this wooden box because I want to use it to store my stickers in.
This is a cheap wooden box we found at one of our local cheapo stores. What did we pay for it? Oh, the price is still on there.
€4.
€4. It's not too bad. It's meant to be like some crafting thing which you can like use for your own little thingies. But yeah, you've seen these boxes around. What we're doing here, we're giving it like a little coat of acrylic paint to have some kind of stuff to stick on.
Yes.
And then we shall decoupage it. Now, what is decoupage?
Well, decoupage, I'm just going to explain from the top of my head, is basically, you can make your own decoupage medium with some white glue. But you need to be careful on what kind of white glue you're using because some of it is prone to going yellow. So it is best to buy some kind of pre-made decoupage thing. Decoupage medium to use. And it's basically, normally people use decorative serviettes and napkins. And they normally decoupage it to something like this box that I am prepping.
Yes, that's why in German we always have these wonderful technical terms. It's called the Serviettentechnik.
Aha.
Yeah, which basically means like serviette technique.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So you don't only decoupage serviettes and whatnot, it's just that serviettes are a little bit easier to use. But you can decoupage photos onto items, you can decoupage printed things. When we get to that point you will see because I have a few little things that I'm going to show.
Yes, basically, I wasn't aware of this before you told me. As much as I understand it, it's basically the same process if you would put wallpapers against the wall.
Yeah, it's something similar to that.
You just basically soak whatever you are putting there on and it then sticks to the material.
Yes.
So I would say we are doing a little jump cut here. You continue with the painting of this box so we have something to work with, and then we shall see what we are doing.
Yes.
So we have coated this box now. It may not look like much, but it's now thoroughly painted with white paint.
Yes, it's just normal white acrylic paint. Just to give it a coat, so just in case there's little flecks of wood that are going to come up in what we're doing. So that's not likely to happen now with this coat.
So what are we doing now?
So I would like to put this image in the center of this box because I think it would look good. But we also need to go a step further. So I have some of this here.
Which is just like prints of random space images.
Yeah, it's like for scrapbooking and stuff.
I mean the resolution on these images is not too good. You can count the individual pixels sometimes, but for something like this it's cool.
Yeah, because I also have some of these, but we're not going to be using any of these today. These are like paper with glitter in it.
Yeah. I also have something like that here, which
Yeah.
is just random things which we might be using. Let's see.
Yeah, I also have like these holographic ones.
Oh, those are nice.
Yeah, these are nice. However, I am thinking that this one is what we need here. So I'm just going to turn this out. Okay, I need to trim it as well. But I'm thinking that would look pretty good.
I think so too. So, what's the first step now? You said you wanted to trim it?
Yes, I want to trim it. Just so that I can get the measurement here. I'm just trying to think, the corners also probably going to have to come off a little. So just excuse my medieval way of measuring.
I mean, you can, I'm pretty sure you can get like really accurate with this. You could also turn the box around and like put a line there, but I think we do not really need that exact. If it's alright to the eye, it should be fine in the end.
Well, I mean, I'm not too concerned if it's a little bit skew, because I'm thinking of bordering, you know, around you with something else. I'm not so sure at this point at what that something else is. So I'm just going to
snip and snip.
Like that.
That should work.
Yeah, that will work. So I need to decoupage this now onto this.
So, and how do we go about that?
So how do we go about this? There are several ways you can do this, and I'm just going to do it the way I've always done it. So this, I'm just going to give it a bit of a shake.
This is, what is this exactly? I believe this is kind of like that white glue that you sometimes find for books and stuff.
Yes.
Just, but in a way.
Yeah, in a way, because this is treated with something else so that it doesn't yellow, because you can technically do this with like white glue. I know the Americans have like that white Elmo glue, but I don't know much about the glue they get there, but I know you need to be careful with some of the white glues that you get, because over time they tend to go yellow. When they make a medium for podge like this, they always add something into the medium to stop it from yellowing. I'm not so sure what their component is. I'm not a scientist or anything, but anyway, this is a water-based silk matte glue varnish for decoupage with paper napkins, weather resistant, dries transparent, for wood, card, canvas, ceramic, stone, glass, metal, plastic, shaped before use.
We should also maybe point out that this is a product we found in one of our local stores, in Müller namely.
Yeah.
There is another one. I think that brand is called Mod Podge.
Yes, Mod Podge is like basically the brand name for this.
It's the brand name. But we're having the same thing here.
It is the same thing, because when I used to do this kind of thing in South Africa, I never saw original Mod Podge. I always used one by a brand called Heritage, which was a local brand over there. I think they still make things like this. So I have put a little bit too much on here, so I'm just going to scrape it to the sides so that I can scrape it over the top, if that makes sense.
So, and now you're basically glazing it.
Yes. So basically, the underneath coat that I put on first is acting as an adhesive to keep this to the box.
Aha.
And this here that I'm pulling out underneath because I put too much, I'm basically putting it on top, so it's acting as a coat of varnish.
And I mean, I said in the beginning, I think that the process is kind of like a little bit akin to putting wallpapers on. If you are putting wallpapers on, in case you have never done that, you would take wallpaper glue and basically soak the actual wallpaper with it and then stick it to the drywall. In this case, I guess you could glue something like this, but the paper isn't like wallpaper. So, but the process is the same really.
This is also acting as a protective coat. So this one is also like weather resistant and stuff. So it's basically water resistant. There are certain kinds of decoupage that you get that is not water resistant, and water can damage it and start breaking it down. But this one is apparently resistant to water.
I'm just, because I'm sitting here kind of like a little bit into the light. There's like an air bubble. Does that make a difference?
No, that's not going to make a difference. We can try to push it out.
Because I know with wallpapers, those air bubbles, if they are not too bad, they normally like pull themselves out of it once it dries. But I mean, since we're working on such a small space here, you can always just like try to coax it out.
I think it came out.
It came out. But now you have others elsewhere. I think this is the same process, so once it dries, it probably should not be...
no, it shouldn't be too much of a
visible.
problem, because the issue is I put too much of the stuff on there.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to judge, because this jar, as you see, does not open like a normal jar. It literally has like a little hole.
I believe that's also what you normally have with wallpapers. I'm not like the renovation person, but the few bits and pieces that I know, I think that's normal when you have something made out of paper and you soak it with glue to stick it to something.
Yes. So I do have this little bit here that's lifting, so I'm just going to try my best. Like I said, it's not so much of an issue to me, because I'm probably going to put some kind of bordering around here, which will hide this. I'm just going to smooth this out here. Because the thing is, this is already starting to dry, so if I carry on doing this, it's going to start making like weird streaks. So I don't want to meddle with it too much right now, because I mean that's only one coat, so we need to wait for this to dry a little, and then we're going to add something else on.
Now this is dry?
Yeah, this is now dry.
And what's the next step then?
Well, I want to put this in the center.
Can I just like,
Yeah.
we still can put other things on there, because I have like an idea. What if we, instead of just like putting him in front of that, putting it on that, but instead of just like slapping this on like this, we're just gonna what if we are doing something like, this is like a little bit like puzzling, like that,
Oh, that looks cool.
and then him on top of it.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Alright, so I'm just going to move him quickly. So as it's been pointed out to me, when we had that jump cut, you can actually screw the lid of this thing.
Yeah, I tried a little bit if I can break it, and I got the lid open. So now it's the same process again. You just like put some more of our what you call it, Soviet technique glue on, as we Germans say. Then you put that on. It's a bit skew.
Like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can still, can I?
Yeah.
Like so. This,
Oh, okay.
this should be.
I'll fix it now. So now I'm giving this like another coat and try and avoid the air bubbles here. Not sure why I'm getting so many air bubbles now.
I think it's like the more glue you use, the more likely this is to happen.
Could also be the paper type.
It might be.
That we do actually have a tear underneath there now.
As I said, just like wallpapering. That's the reason why I hate wallpapering. Because now imagine that, but like up to a height of 2.50 m, and you have to just like put everything on at once, because otherwise your whole work is ruined. Not a fan, but I mean, in comparison, this is like manageable.
I'm just trying to neaten out here.
I mean, if it's not perfect, it doesn't matter. I mean, you are like putting
Yeah, it's a little box on my stickers.
our little friend on anyway.
Okay, so I'm going to let this dry because I don't want to get it too wet, since we did end up with a rip. But it's not going to be a problem because, I mean, he's going to be in front, so you shouldn't see the glaring issue that we have over there. So yeah, need to wait for this to dry, so we'll be back. This is dry now. So now I am going to move on and I'm going to put this over here.
So what interests me, after we have now like what 2 layers already, can you do this like an unlimited amount of time now, or is there like a maximum?
Well, it will probably start getting tacky if you put too many on, but I think it will take quite a while before it gets to that point.
I mean, I always have to think of those old school advertisement poster displays outside. We have this one here which they just like stick posters on, and it's kind of bulging in the middle, so much so that the pavement that runs next to it is not as wide anymore as it used to be. So I assume something similar would happen here, but I was like, I don't know.
I think that is kind of the effect that you get this like bulging.
But I mean, you would have to stick like really a lot of stuff on there.
Yes. Okay, the image might react a bit negatively because it was printed just on normal printer paper with an, what would you call this, an inkjet printer?
That's an inkjet printer, yes. Probably you will have better results if you use a laser printer for something like this, but let's be honest, who has a laser printer?
Not for color, no. I mean, technically we could have printed this on photo paper and you probably would have gotten a bit of a better thing, but I don't mind the rustic look that's probably going to happen from the reaction from the printer paper here.
No, I mean, as I said earlier, it doesn't have to be perfect.
No.
I mean, for what it is, it's fine, I would say.
Yeah, I'd say it's fine as well. Just busy neatening up here a bit. So normally I like to try go in one direction, but sometimes you have to change directions on where you're going, especially if you've got like shapes like this.
So, and I mean, after this is dry now, are there like any steps one can take to make this like even more durable as it is anyway?
I know that there are other kinds of varnish that you can get. I'm not so sure what the varnish is called. But I have read that there are varnishes that you can get to add like extra durability if it's required.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you actually want to, say for example, you want to put this outside for whatever reason.
Which I'm not sure if I would necessarily recommend that with something like this.
No, I wouldn't recommend it for something like this. But no, you can get some kind of varnishes that can add an extra coat of durability. But from the stuff that I have done in the past, some of them are over 10 years old and they still look fine. And we're back.
So, this has dried now.
Yes,
we gave it like a good time. And now we're making it nicer.
Yeah, so we've had this washi tape for quite a while. You know, we haven't really used it other than just, looked at it and be like, oh, okay, that was nice. We got it cheap. So I was thinking that we use one of these as a border around the top here. Which one do you think would go nice?
Ooh, I think maybe that one.
Okay. Let me just get it out.
If you get it out.
It's really tough. Okay. Yeah, I think this one will look nice too.
So you are just like sticking it now to the border?
Yes.
To give it some kind of like, how you call it, a trim?
Yes, just so that it looks, more interesting and doesn't end so abruptly there on the sides.
Scissors. Almost there, like so?
Yes, perfect. Oh. No, I just thought it would look nice with some kind of border.
The difficulty that we have is that this box has rounded corners. which is not ideal, but I mean you can get around it.
Can you cut?
Okay, I must cut. It is a bit hard from my point, but I'll try my best.
It's alright, we'll neaten it all up later. Okay, so now we have the top of the box basically done. I will put another coat on top of that, but I'm not going to do that right now. Right now I'm just concerned about the sides and the back of what to actually do, other than throw washi tape all over.
Oh, it did not want to leave us.
No, it didn't want to leave us. So what we could do we could go through these and we could actually cut them to size for the sides and the front here. So we'll actually just screw the lock off. Let's see, do we have the correct bit already? Yes, we do. And you can see where we didn't paint it. But that's not going to matter now because it's not going to be visible when we put everything back on. So the screws I'm going to put here in this tray. So I mean technically I think yeah, even the hinges on the back could actually come off as well. But I'm just going to leave them for now. Okay, so well, at least the length is good. So now we just need to measure.
Does it matter which side you want?
No, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Okay,
No.
then I will just do that. And as always, we have to work around the camera, so this is a little awkward. But I think if we take it here,
And I'll draw here.
and now you draw one line, and then you should have more or less.
Yeah, the right size.
It probably won't be 100%, but I don't think it makes that much of a
No,
difference.
it doesn't, because if we have any gaps or anything that we want to deal with, we can always use washi tape as a border again. Plus my cutting skills are not exactly great.
So, moment of truth. There,
Alright,
almost 100%.
cool. So, now we need to figure out the size here. I unfortunately don't have a ruler, so I'm going to MacGyver how I'm going to measure this, okay? I'm turning it this way because this is the original edge that I didn't cut, and I'm going to line it up as best as I can, and I'm actually just going to bend like that. Okay, if you could hold the box like that, that would be very helpful.
Of course. I'm a very qualified box holder.
So I'm going to put a little bit on here as well.
I hope we will be able to find the screw holes in the end when it's like layered over.
You know, I didn't even think of that.
I'll say let's just
No, let's just trust the process.
let's just trust the process.
You can feel them.
You can feel
You
it.
can feel them, look.
Perfect.
Right. So, I think I need to trim a little.
Mm-hmm.
Just move the Mod Podge here.
Because I think this is like really meant to be used on straight surfaces. We have like a bent surface here due to the corner, and it wants to lift there constantly. We will see how that goes.
No, if in doubt, we can always use some tape to hide it. Again, working around our camera setup.
It's always fun.
Yeah. Okay, this we'll have to sort later. Because technically we could go with washi tape and we should be able to bend it over to overlap the top one here to actually hide that now, because washi tape will stick to itself but it won't stick to the wood. Okay, so that's one layer, and while we're at it I'm just going to put a layer on top here and then we're going to let it all dry again. Okay, we are back, and basically I've done the sides in the same manner, and now I'm going to switch to the back because I'm actually going to take the hinges off, which I think would make it much easier to put this.
Yeah, this whole box is now becoming unhinged. You see what I did there?
Yes, I did.
I'm gonna hold this. So, and now we do as we did before, or you do as you did before.
Yep.
First you put some stuff on, and now you just put the wallpaper on. We just must not forget to actually cut the gap actually, so this lid can actually open.
I'm going to cut this piece off later. Okay, now we need to wait for it to dry before we can move on. Here's our box. It is all complete now. The only thing it needs is maybe a few more coats just to seal it nicely, but other than that I'd say we are done.
I say so too, it actually looks nice. As said previously, this took us quite a while. We started like in the noon hours and now it's like close to 6. So we basically spent the afternoon with this.
Basically, yeah. Okay, here I just need to put a little bit more tape because there was a bigger gap on the sides here and over there.
Well, there are like little things that can still be improved, but I say just for the demonstration's sake. And I mean, you can do whatever you like to do with this. It works for boxes. What else can you do?
Oh, you could do tins, which is another project that we want to tackle, because we actually bought a few pencil tins that don't have nice designs and all scratched up, and they were cheap. Oh, these are just stickers. This is my sticker box now. But yeah, we are going to do another video about decoupage, but we'll be personalizing our pencil tins.
Yes. Until then, I would say if you liked this video, be sure to leave us a comment, maybe a like if you like, and we shall see you in our next video. Bye.
Goodbye.